I may not be a fall baby, but I love this time of year. Autumn in New York is crisp air, cozy sweaters, and warm flavors just make everything feel comforting. I mentioned I'm getting married. Super busy, everybody is in town, and I want to look my best. Healthy eating is the primary focus, and with Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating, you can do just that. Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying fall. And with their new Heat and Eat meals, enjoy a delicious, wholesome meal in just 3 minutes. Perfect for supporting your wellness journey, Green Chef recipes feature fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins to help you feel your best. Green Chef's real clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without the hassle. Enjoy salads ready in just 5 minutes, protein-filled breakfasts, or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day. Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. I use this and you should too. I mentioned I'm getting married. Oh my goodness, it is the week of the wedding. Oh my goodness, I mentioned I'm getting married. It's the week of the wedding. Diego and I have been cooking up a storm, but we don't have a lot of time, so we just tried their baked lemon pepper tilapia with feta. It was the perfect nutritional meal to keep us energized. I loved the feta cheese to give it a little bit of extra oomph. It's so delicious. You'll love it as much as we did. Make this fall your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50tags and use code 50tags to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50tags at greenchef.com/50tags.
This is Kevin Harlan. Black Friday game days coming to Prime, and it's gonna be huge. Black Friday football is back with Bears-Eagles at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by an Emirates NBA Cup doubleheader, Bucks-Knicks at 7 p.m., and then Mavs-Lakers at 10 p.m. And the whole day starts with the Capital One Skins game as 4 elite PGA golfers hit the links with $4 million on the line. Don't miss a moment of Black Friday game day. The Capital One Skins game at 9 a.m. Bears-Eagles at 3. Bucks-Knicks at 7. Mavs-Lakers at 10. And it's all only on Prime.
This episode is brought to you by my new LGBTQ app, Connect and Confidence. If you've ever felt stuck in dating, unsure how to make meaningful connections, or you're ready to step into a higher version of yourself, this is your space. Daily tools, mindset shifts, confident boosters, and guided lessons designed to help you connect deeper. This isn't another dating app. It's where you go to build the skills behind meaningful relationships, confidence, emotional clarity, boundaries, sexual self-awareness, and the courage to show up as your true self. Every day, you'll get new tools, reflections, and guided practices that help you connect more deeply with the people you meet, and more importantly, with yourself. So if you're ready to date with intention, attract better connections, and step into the version of yourself that knows what they want, download Connect and Confidence today. Get 20% off now through Black Friday at studio.com/Steve V on the web version, or to go to the app version, go to studio.com/Steve V/connect. What is going on? You are listening to Tags Podcast, aka Talk About Gay Sex Podcast. This is episode 716. I am your host, Stevie V, alongside Jeremy Ross Lopez. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm really well. How are you?
Very good on this week of Thanksgiving here in America. For our American listening audience, happy Thanksgiving. Also joining us, and we haven't done this with the three of us in a while. Lincoln, how you doing?
I know, it's so exciting. That's why as we started, I wanted to make sure we were on video because I haven't seen everyone. I haven't done this, the three of us. This is like pre-COVID, I think, isn't it? Like it's been a long time. Yeah. I mean, we all miss Cody. Who doesn't?
We all miss Cody. He's traveling for Thanksgiving this week, and so happy Thanksgiving to him. We did all reunite for my wedding, and that was really fun. And there's a picture that I'll post soon for all of that. Thank you, Jeremy, for having us do that. Let's get in. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into this episode right now because we are, I'm launching in the middle of everything. If there wasn't enough to do, I just launched my brand new app, and it's called Connect and Confidence, and I will give more information on how to get it. We're still in the launch week. It's a Black Friday 20% off, and it's all about making real connections, whether it's friendships, love of your life, dating, tools, tips, and tricks, and daily mindful exercises that you can do. And like I said, you can get 20% off. And along that line, I wanted to take this episode and talk about chemistry versus compatibility and which one actually really matters. When we talk about queer dating, gay dating, we get stuck between two powerful forces, I feel, chemistry and compatibility. And one feels immediate, the spark, the heat, the wow. The other takes intention, honesty, and time, shared values, matching lifestyles, emotional safety, communication, timing, just to name a few. Well, today I feel like we should unpack the difference, the overlap, the myths, and the mistakes we tend to make, from ghosting to misreading signals to chasing spark over substance. Tonight, we're diving into what actually builds a relationship that lasts. And my new app, Connect and Confidence, ties in by offering guided reflection tools, value exercises that people can use and to actually make some of these things work. And when we talk about chemistry, let's just start with chemistry, like it's everything. But chemistry to me is that spark. Compatibility is that fire that keeps you warm. And I don't know. Well, let's just talk about our own relationships. We are all in relationships right now. I just got married. You're engaged to Peter Lincoln
forever. I'm just the forever engagement.
I love it.
We're gonna get married in a decade. It's fine.
Hey,
we have a ring. That's all we wanted.
That's all that matters. He put a ring on it. Jeremy, Kevin, and you are going strong. Let's just start with you, Jeremy. What was the first thing? Was it chemistry or compatibility or both that locked you in?
I think it was definitely was both, because I think our banter, because it all took place on social media at first. I think you could tell just in text messages and stuff that we had the compatibility and the chemistry, because obviously we were both physically attracted to what we saw from photos based off of social media. And then I think he also had listened to the podcast, so he knew a lot of my personal stories and stuff and knew that he would be interested. And then just our banter back and forth was so easygoing and like just fun without meeting and talking for a whole year online. So yeah, I think it was definitely evenly both.
I could tell your story forever on this show because you've met somebody, found you because they were a listener of the show and took a risk and put it out there. And ultimately you are in this long-term relationship, which I love. And I think it is a combination of both. But Lincoln, if you had to talk about Peter and you, what was the ratio of compatibility versus chemistry, or was it equal?
Well, before that, I met Kevin for the first time at your wedding, and everyone has chemistry with him. So he is very easy. He is very fun. So and to my point, I think these two things are very individual. Depends about the person. Some people you're super compatible, and that chemistry is like, I think with me and Peter, it's weaved into the compatibility. Like they weave in and out of each other. They're not mutually exclusive. Does that make sense? Because sometimes the sexiest thing in the world that gives me the biggest hard on is drying the counter. Let's be honest. Right? You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, that's very exciting to me. Back in the day, it was something physical. Sometimes it's a way someone talks that you feel that chemistry. So I think it just really depends on the couple and on the person.
I love that word weaving in and out because I feel like that's how it is with Diego and myself. And when you just said it could be something simple, I got a hard on. We just got our Christmas tree. It is Thanksgiving week, and I've never gotten a tree this early on. And we did it for many reasons because I'm going to go away December 23rd to see my family. We're like, let's just do it. And we're hosting Thanksgiving. And Diego is Mr. Christmas. I think I knew a little bit about that, but to see him, he is just up on a ladder. He's hammering. He's doing all this, putting lights up. He came up, and I was just sitting back drinking my glass of wine before the show, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm so turned on right now! Like this is amazing and hot." And so I love that. When I think about us, it was a true combination of chemistry and compatibility. Chemistry because I saw him standing at the bar at the Eagle when there was a downstairs. They don't have that anymore. It's a coat check now, but it was a downstairs bar. And I used to go to the top right above him. And somehow I found myself down there and I was just looking at him, pushed aside just by himself, confidently, that word, standing by himself. I just very regal, and I was just intrigued. There was something that drew me. I just had to talk to him. I don't know what it was, but it was that allure and then I heard the accent, and then I was like, oh my goodness. But in terms of compatibility, I've always wanted to get into hiking, and I've done it a few times. I learned that he is Mr. Hiker, and that alone, when I learned that he was hiking, I said, we have to go on a hiking day. And he was like, sure, I'll take you. I know exactly where to go. And we can start intermediate. And I said, well, I really like wine too. He's like, we could stop and get some wine. And that was our first date. It was the longest date ever I've ever been on. I think 13 hours. And it just kept going and going. And I knew that, but it was a combination of both that, that connection, that compatibility, that chemistry. But I guess it does pose the question in our gay dating, do we overvalue chemistry and undervalue compatibility? If you just had to answer that question, what would you say, Jeremy?
I don't know. I think it kind of depends on the person, but I don't think in my relationship that I undervalue one over the other. I think I am lucky to have an equal balance between both. And I feel like, but I think in our community specifically, it definitely does happen where you may not be the most compatible, but you're just attracted automatically. And that's what like. I feel like in our community specifically, looks or what you're attracted to on the outside is like almost instantaneous, and that's like the first thing before you speak to anyone. But I don't know if that's necessarily for everyone. I just think it's common in our community specifically.
I think it really is. I mean, we've got hot go-go dancers if you go out and they're all around. I stopped for a long time on Instagram looking at certain types of accounts because I realized the algorithm would produce those types of accounts. And I don't want to turn on my phone now and see a butt in my face that's super hot or some guy just in the locker. And I don't want that because I know I can go down that rabbit hole. Now it's like ab fab, it's Golden Girls, and it's Madonna. And it's like fueling my account, which I love. But what do you say, Lincoln, do you think our community overvalues chemistry? Chemistry.
Well, so first of all, I just wanted to say my relationship is so different. You and Diego go hiking for 13 hours. Peter and I go hiking to Soho and walk around Rick Owens like we're in the forest. So I just think it's hilarious. That corner, we were at Y3 for like 4 hours the other day. I'm like, not a tree.
I love it.
I thought that was kind of funny. I think it depends how old you are. I think if you're a grown-up, mature, adult gay man, you realize it's not all about dick and abs.
Yeah.
Even though dick and abs are fabulous, that's great, but the world's kind of on fire. Our community isn't really connecting together. And if you're a reasonable adult, you hopefully are craving a little more than that. But a lot of guys aren't. And I could say no judgment, but a little bit of judgment. Like, like, let's all grow up and be at our age. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where it, like, compatibility obviously is more important the older you get.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people, it's so funny, that are still out in the clubs going all the time, 150 degrees an hour. And when I was doing that, I was dependent on fake chemistry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you do? Like, how do you, and I talk about this a lot on the podcast. The more behavior you do, the more you stretch the rubber band of that behavior, right?
It's porn.
And it's nothing's going to live up to it in the long run. So, and if all you want is connection, not compatibility, then you're setting a false goal that's unobtainable. So,
and I think you're right too, because even with hot chemistry, any chemistry project, ultimately the flame goes down, right? It's that thrill that we love of newness, maybe attraction, sexual tension, maybe the validation, not the same as emotional alignment. And I think we often confuse that magnetic thing that you get with relational potential. Chemistry is often tied to things like ego, fantasies, past wounds, desire for validation, projection, perhaps. And can
I just make a comment about that? Because I find that I think about this often. We all have addictive qualities, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
All of us, everyone listening to you, have your own addiction, Black Friday sales, addiction. But I have found it fascinating that it's no longer like illegal like it used to be gay. Even though I know we have our struggles right now and we're not always moving forward, just stay with me. Things are so available on the apps that, like, I used to like getting caught in the bathroom. Like, what if you got caught in the public? Like, that excitement. And we're not in the closet anymore, right? And then I've done Ozempic and Manjaro and that kind of stuff for me, and that has taken away that addictive quality in food. And I also feels like it helps me be more balanced in my mind with my life, not just food, but like it crosses over into, I don't want to do substances like I used to because the feeling is different. You know what I mean? Yeah. The things are different. And I'm in a monogamous relationship. So that, like, excitement of getting caught or getting thrown in jail, it's so far gone.
I'm curious.
It's really gone.
Similar to what Lincoln's saying, because you also talked on this show that you did Ozempic and how it worked well for you. Did it take other desires away also because you're in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah, it definitely changed, like, the fact that I am a huge sweet tooth. Like, it took that away altogether. And snacking away altogether. So, like, I don't crave like chips and things that are like I normally would. And it's kind of good because then I focused on eating like real meals and having like a more regimented schedule rather than like just eating because I'm bored or just eating like snacks at random and eating lots of sweets and lots of sugar.
Yeah, I'm curious, how did that change with Kevin? Because when you do something that's life-changing like that, maybe you both had that like sweet tooth together. Sometimes Diego and I were like, he's like, should I get the pie downstairs? I'm like, yes, get the half pie though.
Well,
they make it, yeah.
I'm going to out him on this, but we both did it together. So it actually benefited us because we shared the experience together. So we started it originally because we were going to Hawaii. And I told you my brother's super fit and his fiance's super fit. And we were like, we need to get it together before we go on vacation with these two big. And I'm like, and obviously I wasn't going to have a 6-pack right away, but we just felt more comfortable going on vacation. And then also it really just helped after the holidays and like starting the new year off with losing weight. So it was kind of great to do it together. And then on top of that, like we we helped each other and pushed each other to like work out while you're still on it, and me running and him going to the gym and stuff like that. So it was kind of nice to do it together.
Peter lost his eating buddy and he's still pissed about it. He walks around to everyone. He's like, oh, I lost my eating buddy. It pisses me off, you know. But Peter will sit next to me eating packages of Sour Patch Kids and still have an 8-pack.
Of course.
What the fuck is that? So
I know. And Diego is like, oh, great. He tells everybody at work that he likes to eat healthy. He make me eat healthy. And then he's eating, then he'll call me because we FaceTime throughout the whole day, and he's eating chicken fingers and French fries. But the man also gets like 30,000 steps per day. It's ridiculous and it's crazy. And so he can do it. I can. And we will eat healthy in this household unless it's a half pie. But when we talk about compatibility now, from chemistry to let's talk about like the real foundation. And some things about compatibility involve values, emotional availability, communication style, our lifestyle, intentions, boundaries, maybe who you voted for. I don't know. But these are things that can be important. And when did you realize, Jeremy, that compatibility mattered more than the spark? Or if you did?
I feel like I've always known that, just because I've always been an old soul, and Kevin makes fun of me constantly because I feel like I'm more of an old soul than he is, and
we
have a 9-year age gap. So it's funny because I'll be the like grandma one for us as the couple. But I think compatibility has always been important to me, and thankfully we from the start had so much in common. Like I tell you, the first time I ever went to his house, he had an original movie poster framed in the basement of Hocus Pocus.
I don't think his connection's been great.
Yeah. There. Am I back now?
You're back.
Okay, so I was saying the first time I went to his house in the basement, he had a original movie theater poster of Hocus Pocus, which is one of my favorite movies. And I was like,
he found that out and put that out?
No, he just had it.
He just had it naturally. And then the other movie poster that he has that's from the movie theaters is The Birdcage, which is one of my other favorite movies ever. So that was like a weird thing that I'm like, I can't believe he has both of these movies, which I've grown up watching. I watched The Birdcage when I was little. Like my mom and my brother and I have watched it like for years and years. So that was like, just compatibility is super important to me.
Lincoln, was it the Y3 wardrobe of Peter that drew you in?
Well, you know what? It's actually interesting. I don't think I've said this out loud. Yes, partially. Because I've been in a Y3. He's given me more license to wear it more. Peter has pushed buttons that encourage what I do usually even more. But Peter and I, we don't have a lot. Like, I'm not walking into his apartment finding a Birdcage poster. That's for sure. And Peter is very minimalist as a person and just wants every aspect of what I do to shine. Like I've never met anything like it, that he's just 100% like devoted and just, I want to make you shine. It's actually very master and servant. You know,
wow,
Depeche Mode. I love that. You know, yeah, like very not obedient, but just like he never went to Broadway. He never saw. He likes Madonna. He'd been to a Madonna concert, but then I take it quite a lot further than he. You know what I mean? So when he sees me burst into certain things, however, he gets down a road of Dior and Givenchy and buying clothes and all his Louboutins. He has his obsessions, which I also can appreciate.
Yeah. It's fun when you're with, exactly. Today, earlier, Diego said, did you see the TikTok that I sent you? And I was like, oh, I haven't had a chance, but let me look. And it was Madonna. She was talking, it's like some ad for, I don't know what it is. Maybe you know. she looks like a queen, and she says people, and it's the Vogue music in the background, and she's walking up like in Paris or somewhere.
Oh, with all the pearls on?
Yes, and she's like people,
Yeah.
and I think she's talking. She has her grill on, which I always love, and
Can't stand the
I
grill.
love the grill, and
Really either. Oh my god!
I love.
That is the one thing I would walk up to her,
my
pull that
favorite.
fucking thing out of her mouth, throw it on the floor, and step
Oh,
on
And
it,
I
and say
said,
like,
"Oh, she's like, people say that I age. I don't age." And it's like this dramatic, and she's walking up this Parisian staircase in this amazing.
I don't remember what it was a commercial for, but it was
I don't even
something
know
like
what it
that.
is either. And she's like doing this stuff. And I said, "Oh, the
oh
reason
my god! I love it.
I'm like, baby, the reason her voice sounds like this is because I think she's wearing her grill, and that's how she's talking." And I said, "I love that." And I'm like obsessed with that, even that sound of her voice like that. and he pulled it up because I love her. And so
Right.
to your point, I just think that's super cool when, I mean, I'm in this indulgent mode before we move on, Jeremy, but you've been going to a lot of concerts, and who's
Oh,
the concert goer? Who's instigating all the stuff that you went to Lady Gaga, you went to
all
Dua.
Thames, Pink. I've been to a lot. It's all Kevin. I've never seen someone that like takes concerts so seriously. I mean, obviously Lincoln does, and he's in the same ballpark, but I have never gone to so many concerts in my life. Janet Jackson, like a bunch, but I had only seen maybe 2 or 3 concerts before I met him. So it's fun, it's cool, and I definitely love it.
Yeah, it's like an experience you can remember forever, and you can just put it in your pocket. And I love that. Okay. And then why we chase chemistry over compatibility is often linked to things like instant gratification, our culture, the apps. Come on, we get dopamine hits just by going on there. Internalized narratives like I'll know when I know. Things like queer trauma, craving intensity because stability feels unfamiliar, sex first culture. We're a sex podcast and sex matters. So, do you think the apps changed what we think chemistry is, Jeremy, or didn't help contribute to it?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. I feel like it's not one or the other. I think that it it depends on how you meet the person, and then also like what actually matters to you specifically. And I feel like your compatibility with that person like is a give or take with the chemistry wise.
Yeah, it is a science project, I think, when you're meeting that person. I mean, I'll never forget going on a date with somebody that I met at the Naked Beach in New Jersey that I could see all his goods out there. He was hung like a stallion. I was like, oh my God. And then we ultimately connected and went on a date. And I remember sitting across from him on 8th Avenue in this restaurant, and Burmese food. I never had Burmese food, and it was really delicious, by the way. Check out, but we're sitting there, and it was his pick, and he had nothing to say, and I kept trying to instigate and spark a conversation, and I realized, oh wow, this is just like a chemistry thing, but
Yeah.
there's nothing there and I kept trying different angles to get him to talk. I mean, it wasn't working, and I realized, oh yeah, this is not going anywhere. How about you, Lincoln?
Well,
I mean, yeah.
To answer your question, I do think that the apps have completely upended what chemistry is. Completely. Because there's some people, I to the person you were talking with about being on 8th Avenue, do you know how many people I meet now that just don't know how to communicate with one another? Because
Yeah.
they're so in their phone. Like, what is this new thing of like, you don't say hello when you answer the phone?
Oh wow.
You just pick up the phone because you didn't call them, they're calling you. So it's their responsibility to say who they are before you even say hello.
Is that
Yeah,
a thing?
know that was a thing, and I don't have anyone that I talk to
What?
that.
What is happening? So if the or if you go hello, is this Steven? Yes, that yes can be used as like you're agreeing to something on the phone. So
Wow.
even take it that way. Like if you say yes over the phone without realizing who you're talking to, they could use that yes to commit to something that they said before you picked up the phone. So like so yes, the apps, because I think this is just an extension of the apps, what I'm saying right now. I do think they've changed the way we communicate and the way we connect and the way we trust what chemistry is. You know what I mean? Because and I think we've said this on the podcast before, back in the day when you went out, that was the only way to meet people. If you didn't see that person again and you didn't get their number on a piece of paper, you would never maybe see them again. And they would just be gone for that. That creates a chemistry and a passion and a desire it won't get out of your mind. There's also nothing else filling your mind to distract you from that one person that you met that you didn't get their phone number written on a piece of paper. That's so, and you would have to go home to get a message to then go back to meet them.
I know.
How could it not change? Not even the gay apps, every app. You know what I mean?
That we talked about missed connections. I feel like now you could literally look up the bar that you were at and maybe find the person just from pictures that.
It's so funny that you say that because, it's a Madonna thing. I was at a Madonna when she performed on the Pier Dance. This is such a queer story, and it was Peter and I were together, and I saw this guy's back, and his tattoo was so fascinating to me that when I was home and sobered up and got rest, I still remembered his tattoo, and I went through all of the posts that I could find of the Pier Dance and found him on Instagram and have been following him ever since. And he walked by me at the gym on Thursday.
What?
And I was like, what? And I don't know how to find him on my Instagram, but I know I follow him. But isn't that a weird, like,
did you ever go up to him?
Say, no. I don't think I did.
Weird.
Well, the Madonna Pier Dance got very violent. Like people were very aggressive on that floor. It was very bad. So that was like kind of a shit show. It just went a very different direction that concert.
Wow.
And on the floor. And I never really saw him again. I don't think he's also a little in my eye. Hard to talk to. You know what I mean? I don't know what that was.
Well, that's interesting because I wanted to just, before we wrap up, talk about red flags versus, when we're talking about chemistry, that fast intensity that you immediately put somebody on a pedestal versus somebody that actually has long-term structure that you would actually want to. And what's one of the biggest... I'll tell you mine, but what's one of the biggest red flags that used to turn you on and that were people that were wrong for you? And mine was always, I think because I always wanted to be a public speaker. Now I have had my show, but I was always a shy boy and I was always turned on by the loud guy, the guy that really would take over the room, and I just was gravitating to him. But ultimately, he consumed me, and I realized that I had a voice and I had something to say. But those types really they are the all-consuming types. Those were my red flags on who I used to draw in. Jeremy, who did you used to draw in, or what was some of your early red flags for chemistry?
I think maybe I would draw in someone that was like a little overbearing and almost too confident. I just think of like exes of mine that had that similar trait to what you're speaking about, where like they have to be like the main conversation topic and just a little too overconfident, and I felt like I was attracted to that, and definitely that's fallen off. And I like confidence, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to lead with just that. I like personality much better, and I'm attracted to that way more.
Yeah, that big dick energy often that just consumes the room. And yeah, exactly. Yes. Lincoln, any red flags that you used to be drawn to?
The dirtiest pervert in the corner.
Ooh.
And follow down that road and see where that road takes the night.
Oh, I know that person. I've
Yeah.
seen him.
There's many of them. There were some of them.
That would be
Just
another one
follow
of mine
them.
too. That would be another one of mine too, on how
But I still like. I
It's
mean, I
cool
don't know if
though. In
that's a
some
red
ways, it's cool.
flag. The red flag would be like if I got to a point where I was like, "Hey, want to go out on a date?" Because I'm like that. So that's what makes it the red flag. There's nothing wrong with following that adventure. However, that adventure can involve some illegal things too. So that could also, go down a wrong road. So you have to be careful. But it's a very different time nowadays to me than it was way back in the day, especially in San Francisco in the 90s. Things were just different.
I love it.
Things were different.
We can continue talking about this. We'll continue the conversation over on our Tags Patreon community. Go to patreon.com/Tags podcast. We want to hear from you about chemistry and actual connection. And don't forget, you still have time.
Are you scouring the web for the best Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals? Stop it. Get Rakuten. Rakuten is a shopping sidekick that gets you cash back on gifts for everyone on your list. Right now, you can get up to 15% cash back at the stores you love. You can even stack cash back on top of the biggest sales of the year. That's savings on savings. It's more time shopping and less time searching. With Rakuten, you're always saving at your favorite stores on the things you're already buying. Cashback is automatically added to your account as you shop, and you can get paid with gift cards, PayPal, or check. Or eligible American Express card members can even choose to earn membership rewards points instead of cashback. It's truly a no-brainer. Now's the time to join. Up to 15% cashback ends on 12/2. Plus, new members will receive a welcome bonus after minimum qualifying purchases. Just go to Rakuten.com, download the app, or install the browser extension. That's RAKUTEN. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi friends, we are Dads and Daddies, a podcast about the lives and times of adult gay men in the here and now. I'm Brian Ruben Sowers, a married dad of 2.
And I am Judd Samaro, a resident daddy. Join us for frank conversations and personal stories of sex, love, relationships, parenthood, daddyhood, addiction, and so much more.
Find us on Instagram at Dads and Daddies Pod and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on all major platforms.
My brand new app, Connect and Confidence, is out now, and you can get 20% off now. And it's all about these things that can help you take it to a deeper level to have meaningful connections. And I'm really excited about it. More to come on that. But let's get into hot topics. And I couldn't help but talk about, he is thought of as a sexual predator. Kevin Spacey says now that he's homeless and working as a lounge singer in Cyprus. And even though, Jeremy, he was Academy Award nominated, Kevin Spacey is now really looking for work and not getting it and living in Airbnbs and hotels. And he really wants his next kid. He really was found not guilty in the court of law. But do you think in Hollywood it matters if there's still allegations out there? Does he have a second chance coming to him?
I would say probably not. I think that just in general as an allegation kind of tarnishes what is the prediction for your career. But I mean, because I just feel like I can't think of anyone that really stays super successful or gets more accolades after being accused of something like that. I feel like
Our president.
I mean, that's a great example, but
Johnny
I
Depp
feel with actors and stuff,
Johnny
I don't know.
Depp.
Yeah. Maybe there are some here and there, but I don't think there are many that.
What happens when it's interesting because I just served my jury duty and I was on a trial, and it was a criminal trial, and the judge told us, I dropped everything and I was present and I did my civic duty, but I was so there was 4 counts. I can tell you just that. And there was 2 counts, and me and this woman that we were fighting to get this 1 count. And ultimately we got everybody to agree on it, but it's intense. But this may still last with this person that got some of these convictions on the case that I was in. Then you factor in Lincoln Hollywood, Kevin Spacey, and yeah, Academy Award nominated, great actor. I think I saw him in King George in Brooklyn, which was painful. It was just way too long, but he is a great actor. But does he have a chance? And what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I think, does he have a chance? Sure. He's Kevin Spacey, and everyone loves a turnaround story if it works properly. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of other things to do out there than be an actor. I also think that I hope he's getting therapy and doing all the things that you should be doing in life to become a balanced human being. You know, like I saw recently, I've been in the fitness industry as a professional for a really long time. Susan Powder.
Oh my God, I just saw that.
Did you see that? And she's an Uber driver. She's also fucking nuts. So, like, clean up your side of the street and breathe. And
I really want to watch.
I'm sorry. I have only so much patience for the world these days when I hear stuff like this. You know what I mean?
It made me think of Lindsay Lohan because she kind of really had a major glow up where I feel like she did drugs, like was partying a lot and like fell off the radar and then like now emerged but
that's a different turnaround story than touching somebody.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And what fucking pisses me off wasn't the Kevin Spacey thing with the guy who was in Rent who filed the allegations?
I think so, yeah.
Anthony, and like I love them both because I don't know them and the whole thing's a little sad to me. You know what I mean? The whole thing's sad.
It is tough. I mean, I feel like in the trial I was on, this person will now have a chance. He will, have to serve some time, but it won't be as significant. But when you layer on Hollywood and talking about Kristin Chenoweth, she's in a new show right now, and people are like really mad at her because she said when I forget that guy, Charlie.
This is not going to go well.
Yeah, I know. I did not. I think people say dumb stuff sometimes when they're in production, but people are penalizing her. Now, I did look at the trailer for that musical she's in, and I am not excited to see that show. I don't know, Lincoln, I just got to pull you in on this one.
It is the worst thing I've ever seen on Broadway.
It looks bad.
It is a
tell Jeremy what it is about.
Wait a minute. There's Fox
they're playing
News
and shit. Like she works at a
Queen of Versailles.
No. So do you remember when The Tiger King was a series on Netflix?
Yes, during the pandemic.
At the same time, this Queen of Versailles was also on Netflix. Same energy, same type of thing. So this is the whitest of trash, living in Florida, a lot of money that was made through timeshares. There's actually a musical number about timeshares in this musical. She is shot up in Botox as a character, and so is. And I have to say out loud that I've been a Kristin fan since Steel Pier. For those of you who follow Broadway, I saw Epic Proportions. I saw her in A New Brain. I saw her the day after she won the Tony for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I love Kristin Chenoweth as an actress. She has brought nothing but light and joy to Broadway, all the way up to Glenda in Wicked, which was written by her. I saw her 19 times as Glenda in Wicked, and she added stuff to it in previews, and she peaked for me at that time, unfortunately, because from then on I have lost her, except for the TV series with the cherry where she played Olive, and she still has good moments. But this piece of Broadway, to bring the Republican voice about being king is cool, and no matter what happens tomorrow there could be champagne and caviar, with songs that are unintelligible to listen to. She sounds horrible. The message is horrible. There's Fox News is spinning on the TV in the middle of the musical. And you know what? And then I said to myself, that is next stop the Kennedy Center? Because this is what's happening to our arts.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand. I just have to get this out. Is like both of my girls, Adina and Kristin, have just been on Broadway. Adina brought in a musical about losing a child out of sequence and saving our redwoods. Kristin came in with right-wing propaganda. And I don't know what I'm more mad at, the
right.
redwoods and a real story. Like, have you guys seen the new Claire Danes TV series?
I'm
The
watching
Beast
it
in
right
Me?
now.
It's just like Redwood. It's two lesbians that lose a child. So I was like, and she's an art gallery owner. So there, there is an audience out there for the passion.
She's angry though in it, Claire in it.
She is. She's amazing in it.
And she's amazing. My friend was like,
so good.
I feel like Claire Danes plays this role a little too well. And I was laughing. It's like, she does.
She's really good in it. But just my point is, where is our world that we're not investing in things that propel us forward as a humanity, and that other things, like literally, they try to connect the French Revolution in Versailles with the economy crash and a guy who swindled all of Americans out of their money with predatory loans and gave money to Bush to be elected in a Broadway musical written by the writer of Wicked and the star of the original.
It was almost like,
I don't understand anything at all in the universe anymore. I just don't get
button in it. Just when I didn't want to, because people were mad at Nicole Scherzinger when she simply liked something, and
it wasn't simple either. Be responsible.
Right. Sorry. Okay. But now people were mad at Kristin for this. So I was like, oh my God, let's not cancel people. But then when I read what this show's about, I was like, oh.
Okay. But
when she saw the pitch on this, it just sounded, it would almost be like Tiger King, the musical, but this other, and it would just be like, girl.
It's horrible. But let me just say, shoot, what was I just going to say? What did you just say, Steve? Do you remember? Oh, shoot.
Tiger King that...
My parents bought one of those.
Back to Kevin Spacey and Kristin and Nicole and everybody. I do not believe in canceling. I think canceling people is an ignorant, small-minded, low totem pole way to handle things like this in our society. I've said this before. It's like taking down the fucking statues. Don't take them down. Put up something in front of it that educates you of why it was there. Let's learn from Kristin or Nicole. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
And let's not mix that and performing a musical. Maybe that's a little a bridge too far. However, Madonna, she's on a fucking crucifix made of disco balls and a crown on her head singing Live to Tell to make a statement about people we've lost from AIDS.
Yeah.
Some people might have a problem with that. I personally will pay top dollar for that.
Yeah.
Right? So
absolutely.
Sorry. That was my rant. Ooh, that was a good little Lincoln corner rant. But
lastly,
do not go see that show. Unless you have to see that show to say you saw something that bad.
When you come to New York, I'm not making you see it. I read the press and I was like, oh, it sounds...
But I had to see it. If you don't see it, you can't talk about it.
Okay.
So they have $20 tickets. You could probably go
for free. You're our theater correspondent. Lastly, in Hot Topics, there seems to be something rooted in jealousy. I put it in case you don't know these two people.
Yes, I do.
Matt Rogers. I really love Matt Rogers. And Fraser Olander. If you don't know Fraser, he is on Below Deck on Bravo. And they hard launched their new relationship at Bravocon. Bravocon's a huge thing. If you watch it happened recently. And they pretty much hard launched the gays were kind of not having it over on X, formerly known as Twitter, giving them a lot of shade, just as if, and a lot of people pointed out to the fact that we fought so hard to be representation and be, even if it is, on Bravo and whatever, but now we're pulling down couples that just because we don't like them. Are we jealous? I don't know, Jeremy, what did you think of this hard launch and some of the backlash that Matt in particular is getting for this hard launch?
Really pathetic that they're getting any backlash, and I think that they look happy and good for them. I'm not a big fan of Matt. I kind of find him like a little obnoxious and annoying, but I definitely think that they look like they're happy and good for them. I don't think that there's any reason why they shouldn't be able to date. They're both on the same, like, Matt Rogers is always on Bravo and Watch What Happens Live, and I mean, they come from a similar background of like being on TV and reality and all of that stuff, and he has a podcast, and I think it's just like
Successful one, yeah.
for them, like,
Me
just
too. I like him. He's also a good actor too. I've seen him in different things, and it reminded me a little bit. I mean, the gays, I feel, we're always going to have a snarky side. We're always going to want, and that's normal. I recently Nate
Don't think
Berkus.
that that's normal. We don't always
Well,
have to be snarky about it.
Let me just hear me out. Nate Berkus, designer, been around forever, from Oprah, and Zachariah is his husband. And
Sure.
I was watching
Zachariah.
and I was cringing because I love them, though. I couldn't wait to watch Nate on The View because he was giving like apparently the current trend right now for Christmas trees is the polo. Who's polo?
Ralph Lauren
Ralph
polo.
Lauren trend, and so we had like pillows that are plaid, and so I was like, oh, all about that, and I wanted to hear his trends. But he is like a clean freak, and he can't wait to take down the tree the day and clean up. And I just realized I was cringing at some of the stuff, but I wasn't mad at their relationship. I just like they're not like people invited to my dinner party, but that's fine. I don't have to like everybody, but I'm not like going to go on social media and attack a gay couple just because they have found celebrity. What do you think about this somewhat backlash, Lincoln?
I don't know the other people that you're talking about, but I do know Nate Berkus and his partner, and I did love them on The View. Him on The View, and then shortly after, an article came out that they're monogamous, and they've been monogamous for over 7 years, and that there was no other option for them.
Yes,
and I really respect that about them. I think that that's they're adults in an adult relationship. You know what I mean? I also do really love to take down all the decorations right after Christmas and clean everything and make it like as clean as it can get. And what's weird this year, the reason Diego is going crazy behind you putting up decorations is Thanksgiving is late. So Christmas decorations should have gone up last Friday. It's also a shorter day to shop this year. So you only have 8 days to shop. Between Thanksgiving, it's like 30 years. It's because it's the retail calendar. So like that's why you feel it. Like today, I did Christmas at the bakery. I'm like, I never do it until the day after Thanksgiving, but it's so late that this weekend's we're not going to be. We only have a quick 3 weeks in it. We're at Christmas. So
oh my god,
ready.
Thank you for the voice of reason and why we're all a little like Nutsville right now.
Yeah, it's true. It's going to happen very fast. It's going to be the new year like that.
Yes. Okay. Lastly, we love giving advice on the show. And recently, QWERTY asked the question, how do you ask a guy out? And be direct, said some people. Approach with confidence and plop down your credit card, says somebody else. Gays share their favorite ways to ask gays out. And I'll read a few. We'll discuss what is the best way to ask a guy out. Somebody said, just keep it simple. Can I have your number? Want to go on a date? Said Michael from Brown University. No tiptoeing, said somebody else. Randy around it. Be direct. Somebody else said, I've always been preferential to cozying up at a good coffee shop in the gay part of town and scanning the store to see what people are reading. The hit rate isn't as high, but the chances of stimulating conversations are, says James in Maryland. Eye contact, says Logan in Mexico City. These are all good ones. And I think when I've asked people out, when I think about Diego,
my God, that's so
I was
much
just direct. I was just, hey, I love this. You talking about this hiking. Can you take me on a hike? Can we go on a hike? And he said yes, and we planned it. And I got his number, and I did not let up. And I even told his friend later, like, he will be my boyfriend. And not only was I put it out there, and now we're married. So, Jeremy, what do you say to what's the best way to ask a guy out? If you had,
I would definitely say eye contact is key when they're speaking, for sure. And then I think just being direct as well. I think just keeping it casual and like organic rather than like trying so hard is really the best key. And yeah, just saying like asking them, would you like to hang out again? Just casual and like keep it cute. And if they say no, then you just keep it moving.
You keep it moving. Yeah.
How could they ever say no?
Lincoln, what's your advice for how to ask a guy out?
Listen to him and look in his eyes so seriously that he ends up asking you out.
No, I love that.
Is that a good answer?
Lincoln,
that's a good answer.
Okay, so my sister and I have this thing where there's been certain people in our lives that have come throughout the years. I can think of 3 people at the top of my head that, you know, when you're talking to somebody that you could be in a room with, you know, everybody, but they are so looking in your eyes and they're so, and my sister always said, oh, you know, when we talk to our friend and he is so engaging and he's like looking in your eyes and it's enveloping, and it's that trait that I want to have because they make you feel so heard and everything else is silent and they really want to hear about you in that moment. It's an amazing trait that certain people I feel have just naturally, and it's awesome. That's something that I aspire to, and that's something that we could all, you know, just to make somebody feel so heard and I'm listening to you and talking to you is so brilliant.
Have you ever met Bill or Hillary Clinton?
I've heard. Okay.
They have that pull in that it's like, that you can't get out of it. It's fascinating.
So fun fact on that one, the person I'm thinking of is my dear friend. He won't mind me shouting him out, Durand. He's a fashion guru, but he went to a brunch for Easter this year, and who was there? Bill and Hillary. And he said when it was a buffet at this high-end hotel, and Bill Clinton loved his sweater. I said he was a fashion guru and we just kept complimenting. And they had this exchange. He said, I now know what Monica Lewinsky saw in him. I now know why he was president, because when that man talks to you, he is drawing you in. He said it was crazy. Unlike anything he's ever experienced. It was so enveloping, and so that's so funny that you would say that. And he told this story, and we were like, "Oh my god, we were like engaged in it." It was great.
It's cool.
Yeah. So,
so that's my answer. That's how to ask someone out on a date.
I love that because I feel like it's so. It's something that we're missing a lot today is people not being on their phone. And I think that listening and putting your phone down is so important to just connection nowadays.
Yeah, listening is the new sexy. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I think like monogamy is in a lot of ways also, and like just doing things your own way differently and not listening to what anyone else says because it makes you happy and it's not hurting anyone.
And to piggyback on what you're both saying, back to being a juror in a trial case, they take your cell phone away and your laptop, and we had to put them in envelopes, and we are sequestered to this room, as you say, Jeremy, room. And we, on a break, we were all from different walks of life, and we all just listened to each other. We told stories, and somebody said, oh, I can't show you, but he had to just tell us from his memory. And we didn't have a phone in her. And it was really, I bonded with these 12 jurors, and it was really beautiful, and humanity really spoke. And
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And we were doing our civic duty and all that good stuff. So,
I do have to just really quickly before you get off, I do have to say with AI and everything becoming so affected on our phones and online, and that it has to bounce back, right?
Yeah.
It has to bounce back to like wanting to actually be in front of a person, or it's going to go a very dark place. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know. My chat should be my best friend right now. And I'm polite to my chat GPT. I say thank you. And I said,
that takes up more energy.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know
No,
that.
it literally does. I'm the same way because no one says thank you or please anymore at all. So I'm very obsessed about it with both Siri and my ChatGPT.
Oh.
But the amount of power that it consumes, because ChatGPT takes a lot of energy.
So we're ruining the planet, is what you're
It's
saying.
1,000%.
Got
Wow.
1,000%. Undeniable.
it. Well, on that
Keep
note,
laughing. Yeah.
I don't want to waste any more energy on this platform that we're recording.
Never a waste of energy on this platform.
Like, I
Never.
could do this all night, but we won't do it because we're going to save some energy. Thank you so much. You can always follow my co-host. You can follow Jeremy on the gram at JRossLopez. And I want to see some of those decorations that Kevin.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Send them to me too, please.
Fun. Follow Lincoln. Follow him at Protein Bakery, because are we going to see some decor and
Oh, it is. It should be. Yeah, I should take pictures of it tomorrow. It'll come up. And we're having a great Black Friday sale right now. 25% off for life.
Oh, awesome.
life.
For
At
life.
Follow at Protein Bakery on the gram, and follow him at Mad Lincoln for his personal account. Follow me on the gram. I am _Stevie. And guys, in the meantime, continue having hot,
gay, that has connection and chemistry. Because wasn't that the point of the damn show?
It really is.
Hi, friends. We are Dads and Daddies, a podcast about the lives and times of adult gay men in the here and now. I'm Brian Ruben Sowers, a married dad of 2.
And I am Judson Morrow, a resident daddy. Join us for frank conversations and personal stories of sex, love, relationships, parenthood, daddyhood, addiction, and so much more.
Find us on Instagram at Dads and Daddies Pod, and listen to new episodes every Tuesday on all major platforms.